We hope that by now you're beginning to feel as if Blue Ridge is a second home for you too. Obviously, there is so much to see and do here. You're going to make a full day or perhaps multiple days of it when you come to visit. So of course you're going to get hungry and want a delicious meal, and the Black Sheep Restaurant is where you'll find it. We are here with owner Brandon Lofton. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
We are in a kind of a special part of the house, and it is a home.
It is.
The Black Sheep, that you wanted us to talk in this morning because this might look familiar to a lot of people. This is an area that Southern Living did a feature on.
That's right. Yeah, this is actually, you are in a home. I mean, this was somebody's home. It's actually one of the oldest homes in Blue Ridge.
It's called the Butt House.
The Butt House, correct. And it was owned by Colonel Butt and Fanny Butt. And the rumor goes, the story goes, it was the first house with indoor plumbing. And what makes the house so special is their affiliation with a very famous person named Margaret Mitchell.
Do you think you've heard of her, right?
Yeah, she wrote this book, and I think, other than the Bible,
right,
it was probably one of the best-selling books of all time. And the story goes that she did write some of it, or some of her inspiration came from being in this very house.
Really?
But this was a bedroom and obviously converted to a dining room now. And we actually call this the Green Room.
I love the connection with Margaret Mitchell. I'm an Atlanta native. In case for some reason those of you watching are not familiar, the book, of course, is Gone with the Wind.
Correct.
So Atlanta did the same thing, where the home that she wrote Gone with the Wind in is now preserved and right there on Peachtree Street. Yeah. So now Blue Ridge has its own in the form of the Butt House. But you'll notice when you're in Blue Ridge, the railroad is central to the community, and you told me that she would take the train from Atlanta to here and stop and pay him a visit.
That's right. Yeah.
Very fun.
I can only imagine the stories. If you could go back in time and see all that, it'd be amazing. Yeah.
Well, it looks to me like you kind of created a similar setting in the restaurant, Brandon, because you took over about 5 years ago.
Correct.
And everything here is original. Correct. But the ambiance is now very different. This is upscale American cuisine.
Correct.
And you're very proud of your chefs.
I am. I mean, listen, we have, since I've opened this restaurant, we've been on a journey like many other restaurants in America, and we have gone through different leadership as we have gotten busier and times have changed. And currently I have, 2 world-class chefs that work here for me, and they're involved in different components of the business. And we are housing one of our chefs that we've just hired for our new steakhouse, Grace. I'm opening a prime steakhouse here, and he is moving here from San Diego. So we have a lot of culinary talent in the building that kind of keeps driving the menu. But the menu here is very intentional. I call it culinary comfort food. And it's by design. I'm not trying to be a fancy, super hip culinary destination. I want people to come here and enjoy a great meal, a great hand-cut steak. Right. We're known for our meatloaf. We're known for our wedge salad. Lamb lollipops, just very simple preparations, but delicious food.
I love, there are so many things I want to say at the moment. I can only go one at a time. I love the way you have the restaurant cornered off into rooms.
Right.
So it's intimate, yet there's enough background noise that you can have your own private table conversation and not feel like there's somebody eavesdropping on you.
Right.
Is that fun for you to see?
Yeah, well, what you're not experiencing right now is the full effect of walking into the restaurant. I specifically played New Orleans jazz. I'm a Louisiana native, and I love the way that it sounds in an old home. The lights are down, and there's a cadence to this restaurant. There's a cadence to it. You hear the chatter of the conversations. You hear the food being run out of the kitchen. You can hear the kitchen talking and calling food back to the chefs.
Like home.
So yeah, exactly. And there's a cadence. There's an atmosphere to it. And when it all comes together, I mean, it's like a production. I mean, that's what a restaurant is. It's a production. There's a lot of little moving parts that go into the night that you experience in a restaurant. A lot of moving parts in ordering and scheduling, so on and so forth. But yeah, the restaurant, the most unique thing about this restaurant that I didn't realize until a couple of years ago is it has its own ecosystems in it. You have the inside, which feels a little different, more upscale. You have the largest bar in Blue Ridge, which is covered.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And then you have the outdoor dining, which is real casual. You're sitting under a 125-year-old oak tree.
And the private barn.
And the private barn in the back, yeah. And then you have, so a lot of different microclimates in the restaurant. And so you can come in and wear a jacket and feel upscale inside with the ostrich back seats, and you can go out the bar and have a comfortable glass of wine and a steak in the open air. It's very nice.
But this did not just happen. And one thing that I'm sure our viewers are picking up on by now is that you come to Blue Ridge, and yes, it's this quaint little town nestled in these beautiful mountains, but it's world class. I mean, it is being sought after because of the skill that is here in every facet, and we're seeing that on the show. So from Bill Oyster to the Four Elements to the Sweet Shop and Cupcake Wars, you yourself have your own very impressive resume. I mean, you are not new to the restaurant business.
I'm not new to it, no.
So you know what you're doing.
I've done this for quite a while. This is my 29th year. I had the privilege of working with the largest privately held restaurant company in the world, Landry's, who own just about everything that you know, from Morton's to Del Frisco's to Rainforest Cafes, McCormick and Schmick's. And I was privileged to work with that organization and be taught the fundamentals and block and tackle of this business. I'm from Louisiana. I love restaurants. I love great food. I love great wine. And I just fell in love with this business a long time ago and have had a very unique journey. And I'm very proud of where we're at, and I'm very proud of what we've created here. But what's important to know about this town is what's driving this town to have great restaurants and great amenities like Oyster Bamboo and Cohutta Fishing Company and the real estate and all these different amenities is there's a lot of affluency coming to this area, and they demand that. They like the serenity of the mountains, and they like all of that, but they want to go to a nice dinner, and they want a great cup of coffee, and they want to go shopping. So the people coming up here are really driving all of the new amenities.
Well, what we're hoping is that we'll get some folks from Chattanooga and our part of North Georgia driving up as well to be part of the experience of Blue Ridge. You are open for dinner only. Before I let you run, would you have a recommendation when someone comes to eat? Well,
we are open for dinner only, but we have the best brunch in all of North Georgia every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3. We're known for our brunch, red velvet waffles with Nashville hot chicken. We have a creme brulee French toast. If I had to recommend anything on the dinner menu, listen, all of our steaks are hand cut. Our meatloaf's absolutely delicious. Our crab cakes are phenomenal. Sea bass, it's really a delicious. You got to try the wedge with the candied bacon.
And are you reservation only?
We're not reservation only, but we highly recommend them.
Okay.
Highly recommend them. We do allocate a portion of our restaurant for walk-ins, but in July and certain months, it's hard to get in here without a reservation.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll pretend with you today because we're a morning show. Our wine glasses are not yet full. But cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you for the invitation in.
Thank you.
Pay them a visit. It is the Black Sheep Restaurant on West Main Street in Blue Ridge. Their website there on your screen so that you can go ahead and make that reservation and come find which item on the menu is your favorite.
Thank you so much.